Hey guys, what's up? And welcome to another video with me, Vince at Moorman Lifestyle. Thanks for joining. It's good to have you here. Good to be talking about this subject, which is when to not give up on a date. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, look, anyone who's watching this channel who's done any kind of dating in the last 5-10 years will know that you meet a girl in a bar, a coffee shop, through friends, online dating. You're talking, you seem keen to meet up, but if you don't meet up, if you don't get that date, a lot of the time what happens is it fizzles out, you lose interest, she loses interest, whatever, and you just end up wasting 2, 3, 4 weeks back and forth texting with no tangible date where you actually get to meet that person face to face, form out a connection, learn about them, and think, do I want to see this person again? So look, just to set the scene a little bit, when I talk about not giving up on a date, I want to give you the other side of that first, because I'm actually quite a big proponent of only really dealing with girls that you're interested in and they are interested in you. And actually, like, one YouTuber which I quite like, his name's Rich Cooper, he talks about burning desire, and that's essentially only dealing with girls that really like you and really want to meet you. But look, to give a bit of context, I'm quite a big believer that if you're trying to make plans with a girl and she keeps flaking on you, that you ditch that girl, you move on. Let's say you've decided to go on a date on the Friday, and on the Friday morning she cancels, then you agree to go on a date, the next Wednesday she cancels again. Like, no, get rid of her, she is just messing you around. If a girl is texting you and you keep asking for dates, but she keeps saying, oh no, I'm busy, but then tries to continue a conversation, again, I get rid of those girls very quickly, because I'm like, right, well, I'm not gonna continually ask you for a date. I don't wanna be a pen pal. You know, I'm a busy man, I got stuff to do. So in those circumstances, I'm very, very clear. I'd advise a lot of guys just to be like, nope, this girl, waste my time, off we go. However, the topic of today's video is when to not give up on that date and when to push just a little bit harder. Because ultimately there's going to be scenarios where if you just give up and next that girl, you might miss the opportunity to meet an awesome girl who, between the lines, actually is quite positive about you and does desire you, but there's some kind of obstacle or hurdle in the way. So I'm going to read you out a text back and forth between me and a girl from a couple of years ago. All right, so we're going back a couple of years' time. We're going back to around February, early March 2020. This is a period where I just started off day game, which is essentially meeting girls, coffee shops, parks, in the street that you don't know, approaching them, getting some big cojones, some big balls.
It takes brass balls.
Going up to some girl you don't know, trying to get a phone number, sparking up a bit of a connection. Anyway, I met this Spanish girl on the Wednesday afternoon, sorry. I don't usually do day games on weekday mornings. Wednesday afternoon, I met this Spanish girl coming out of a coffee shop, really cute girl. I got up to her, asked her name, we had a little bit of chat, quite funny. I'd asked her if she wanted to get a drink at the weekend, she said yes. So we exchanged phone numbers. Now, between the Wednesday and the Saturday, we'd agreed to go for drinks on the Saturday. We were texting 2, 3, 4 times a day, like little gifs, pictures, videos, bit of banter, really good. You know, not too much information, but enough to keep it ticking over, because you don't want silence between Wednesday and Saturday because they're gonna think you're not interested. So anyway, it gets to Saturday early afternoon, and I text her just to say, look, just to confirm. I didn't say just to confirm. I think I said, look, let's meet at this bar at this time tonight. This is at about 11:30 in the morning. I text her saying, maybe 7:30 at this bar. I'll see you there. She texts me back 5 hours later. But anyway, she texts me, and this is what she said. Remind, this is like the start of COVID. I have a problem. I finish work at 8 p.m. and I really have another problem. I am a bit afraid with coronavirus. Call me crazy, but really I'm worried about this, and I don't know what I must do to. I don't know what I must to do. Her English wasn't great at times. Anyway, the two options at this stage. I either say, oh, no worries, yeah, you poor wee lamb, absolutely right, no worries, we'll rearrange. If that happens, I'm never seeing that girl again. Like very, very, like it's unlikely I'm going to see a girl I met through day game. Maybe, but probably not. She's flaking on me like that. The second option is just to call out her bullshit. We'd agreed that all week, Saturday. She never mentioned she was working, so she's probably at this point just like a little bit nervous about meeting me and trying to cancel. Say she's working, one, which she'd never mentioned. So, I mean, how could you have got to this far and not mentioned you're working? And then two, coronavirus, which at this point it was like, there was no lockdowns. It was just like, it's coming. Do you know what I mean? Like, it really wasn't an issue at this point. So, instead of just being like, oh yeah, no worries, see you next time, hope you're okay, I was like, do you know what, I'm gonna call this bullshit out because I want to meet this girl and she's kind of acting like a douche here. So I said, why didn't you mention that you were working till 8? Let's make it 8:30 then for meeting. And then I wrote, also, stop being a pussy and enjoy your life. The disease only hurts old people and only 4 people in Scotland have it. I know. I honestly was like, I'm going for broke here because ultimately she might then double down and be like, no, I'm not coming. Who cares? Do you know what? I've actually tried. I've really gone for it. But I was like, do you know what? This girl just needs like called out in her BS. So she texted me and she said, not only 4 people, with a crying face. And then I never replied to that. And then 20 minutes later, she messaged saying, okay, we meet at 8:30. And then we ended up meeting that night. We had an awesome date. This girl was really cute. I really liked her. And I'm so glad that I pushed that. So what I'm trying to tell you here is there's circumstances where you really got to call a girl out for her BS and push a little bit. Like if you've been trying to go out with a girl and she's flaked on you twice, that's it, next. Don't waste your time with this girl. But if you've had a really good connection like I had with that girl, it was really good banter, like good crack on text. When we met each other, there was obviously a bit of vice versa attraction. And we'd agreed the entire week for a date on that night. And then she's getting cold feet at the end. That's fine. Like, look, you know, girls get nervous. They get nervous about dating. I totally understand that. And that's why it's important for you to be empathetic. But also, in that scenario, I had nothing to lose there. I was like, I'm calling this BS out. I see it for what it is. I really want to meet this girl. And by calling it out, I was just like, no, you're talking shit and you know it. And then when she replied, just cry face and something else, I never replied to that. I was like, well, I don't need to reply to this. I don't need to beg you to come out with me. I've said my piece. 20 minutes later, she's obviously processed it, thought about it, and be like, okay, let's meet. You see what I did there? Call the BS out, and I didn't reply to the drivel in the middle. Gave her some time to process it, and then she made a good decision. And we had a great date. She was an awesome girl. So, that is my real life world example of when to not give up on a date. And it's important, fellas, that you realize this is not a call a girl out, BS, be horrible, be nasty to them. It's a case-by-case scenario where you think, no, we had a good connection, we had something planned, I'm going to call her BS on this. I'm going to push and make sure we get that date because I want to meet her. And she's going to want to meet me, and when she does come on this date, she's going to be glad she did. Anyway, gonna leave you there for today. Thanks for joining. Please like, subscribe, comment. See you next video.